If Adobe Premiere Pro is giving you the dreaded error compiling movie error code 5, don't worry. In this video, I'll walk you through the most effective fixes step by step so you can get your export working again. This issue is usually caused by a problem with your renderer, cache files, export settings, effects, or even low disk space, and the good news is that most of the time it can be fixed without starting your project over. If this video helps, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more Premiere Pro tutorials, and let's get into it. First, the easiest fix is to switch to software rendering. In Premiere Pro, go up to File, then Project Settings, and click General. Here, look for the renderer option. If it's set to Mercury Playback Engine GPU acceleration, change it to Mercury Playback Engine software only. This tells Premiere Pro to use your CPU instead of your graphics card for rendering, which can often bypass hardware-related export errors. After changing the setting, click OK and try exporting again. If the error was being caused by GPU acceleration, this may solve it immediately. If that doesn't fix the issue, the next step is to clear your media cache. Go to Edit, then Preferences, and open Media Cache. Inside this menu, click Delete and remove all media cache files. These cache files can become corrupted over time, and when that happens, Premiere Pro may fail during export or throw an error compiling movie message. After deleting the cache, restart Premiere Pro so it can rebuild fresh cache files. Then try your export again and see if the problem is gone. Another very useful fix is to change the export format. If you're currently exporting in H.264 and keep getting error code 5, try exporting to ProRes 422 instead. ProRes is often much more stable during rendering. Then, once the ProRes file is created successfully, you can use Adobe Media Encoder to convert it into an MP4 if that is the format you need. This two-step approach can help isolate whether the issue is tied to the H.264 encoder specifically. In many cases, simply switching formats is enough to get a clean export. Now let's talk about the problematic section of the timeline. Premiere Pro sometimes tells you the exact timestamp where the export is failing. If you see a time reference in the error message, go to that part of the sequence and focus on that section closely. Set your in and out points around the area and then use sequence and choose render in to out. This lets Premiere Pro process only that section so you can identify whether the issue is caused by one clip, one effect, or one transition. If the render fails at the same spot every time, that section is probably the source of the problem. You should also check your export settings and toggle hardware encoding. In the export settings window, look for the encoding option. If it is currently set to hardware encoding, switch it to software encoding. If it's already on software, try hardware instead. Different systems behave differently, and sometimes one option works while the other causes export failure. This is especially common when GPU drivers are outdated or incompatible with the current project settings. Testing both options is a simple but powerful troubleshooting step. Another important thing to check is your storage space. Premiere Pro needs enough room not just for the final exported file, but also for temporary files and cache data during the export process. If your drive is nearly full, that can easily trigger export errors like error code 5. Make sure the destination drive has plenty of free space, and if possible, move your media cache or export location to a drive with more available storage. It's a small step, but low disk space is a very common hidden cause of export failures. If the error is still happening, try removing effects at the point of failure. This is especially important if you're using third-party plugins, heavy transitions, color effects, noise reduction, motion blur, or other complex processing effects. Sometimes one effect can break the export even if playback looks fine inside the timeline. Temporarily disable or remove the effects around the section where the export fails, then try rendering again. If the export works after removing an effect, you found the culprit and can replace it or adjust its settings. A good troubleshooting workflow is to test each fix one at a time. Start with software rendering, then clear the media cache, then try a different export format, then render the problem section, then toggle encoding, check storage, and finally remove effects. That way, you can pinpoint exactly what is causing the error instead of guessing. Once your project exports successfully, you can always go back and fine-tune your settings later. So if you were stuck with Premiere Pro error compiling movie error code 5, these steps should give you a clear path to fixing it. In most cases, one of these changes will solve the export issue and get your video rendered properly. If this tutorial helped, please hit the like button, subscribe for more Premiere Pro fixes and editing tips, and leave a comment if you want help with a specific export error. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.